Good morning, students. I welcome you all in today's online class. And now we are in chapter number 2, Physical Features of India. And already we discussed so many things, a lot of things we discussed, different type of relief features. I hope that we have already discussed about two types of relief features of India. One, that is the Himalayas and the northern plains. So, and also we have already discussed the peninsular plateau. It was the last topic of the last class. So we discussed what is peninsular plateau, that this yellow color portion which is in triangular shape, which is surrounded by three water bodies, three sea or ocean, that is Arabian Sea in the western side, Indian Ocean in the southern side, and Bay of Bengal in the eastern side. And in the northern side, that is land boundary present, that means it is in the northern side it is surrounded by the northern plains. So that's why it is called as the peninsula, and that we already discussed. And also we discussed the important features of the peninsular plateau, like its slope is from west to east, and also that is it is a triangular shaped plateau. That type of things already we discussed in the last class. And the peninsular plateau divided into two divisions: northern division just north of the Narmada river, and the southern division, that is south of the Narmada river. Northern division is called as the Central Highlands, and the southern division is called as the Deccan Plateau. This thing also we discussed. And also we discussed about the Central Highlands, their divisions, their important features, and also the Deccan Plateau, their divisions, their important features, and also that is in which state they are located, etc. And also we discussed about, that is the Eastern Ghats and the Western Ghats. Eastern Ghat and Western Ghat. Eastern Ghat located, that is in the eastern side of the, or eastern edge of the, that is the peninsular plateau, and Western Ghat is located in the western side of the that is peninsular plateau. This thing already we discussed. And also we discussed the Deccan Trap. Deccan Trap, it is the part of the Deccan Plateau which was formed due to the deposition of lava. That means it is related to the volcanic eruption, and that's why lava soil is formed, lava rock is formed, and that's why here black soil is found. So that type of things also we discussed here. And also we discussed what is the importance of the peninsular plateau, like minerals are found here, black soil present, that's why it is suitable for the cultivation of cotton, and that's why black soil is also called as the black cotton soil. And also due to the availability of minerals, different type of industries developed, like iron and steel industries, aluminum smelting plant, copper smelting plant. That type of industries also developed in the peninsular plateau region. You can take the example of the Jamshedpur in Jharkhand, that is the TISCO present, Tata Iron and Steel Company. It is located in Jamshedpur, and it is based on the minerals. And also that we know that plateau region means it is covered by dense forest. That means it has also great importance. And due to the plateau region, the surface is rough, that's why the the rivers like Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, they can easily help in the generation of the hydroelectricity. And also this plateau region has so many different type of hill stations, like there are favorable places for tourism like Ooty. So this is also another importance of the peninsular plateau. Now come to the today's topic, and the today's topic is what? The coastal plains. Already we have read in this chapter number 2 the northern plains, and now we are going to read about the coastal plains. Now the doubt may come, the question may come in your mind, that why the coastal plain that is given in the separate column, why that is not coming under the northern plains? Because the process of formation is totally different. We already discussed how are they formed. The formation of the coastal plain controlled by two factors, one that is river, another that is ocean or sea wave. So river also helps in the, that is deposition and the erosion, and also sea waves help in the deposition and erosion activity in the coastal plain area. That means coastal plains are mainly formed by the two agents, one that is river, another that is sea wave. That's why it is different from the northern plain. Whereas northern plain it was formed by the depositional activity by the three river systems, Ganga, Indus and the Brahmaputra. So that is the difference. And now let us find out the location. The coastal plains are located along the, that is in the eastern along the, that is eastern edge of the Eastern Ghat and the western edge of the Western Ghat, and it is located along the Bay of Bengal and the Arabian Sea. and it is extended from the Gujarat in the left hand side, that means in the west, to Odisha in the eastern side, and via Kanyakumari. Kanyakumari is the southernmost point of Indian mainland that we know. That's why just start from the Gujarat in the west, then it is going to, that is the Kanyakumari, then it is going to the right hand side, eastern side, then it is up to Odisha coast. So that is the coastal plain. So now come to the next, the coastal plains. Here also you can see the coastal plain located in the eastern side of the Eastern Ghat and the western side of the Western Ghat, along the Bay of Bengal in the eastern side, along the Arabian Sea in the western side. And here also you can see that in this right hand side map, so many divisions present. Later we'll discuss. Now come to the next, divisions of the coastal plains. Coastal plains are divided into two divisions according to their location. I have already told that one portion of the coastal plain that is located along the Bay of Bengal in the eastern edge of the Eastern Ghat, another that is located in the western edge of the Western Ghat along the Arabian Sea. According to this thing, coastal plains are of two types: the eastern coastal plains, that means this type of coastal plains are located in the eastern side of India. It may be the eastern side of Eastern Ghats, or it may be the eastern side of India, and that is located along the Bay of Bengal. And western coastal plain means it is located along the Arabian Sea, western side of the Western Ghat or western side of India also. So the eastern coastal plain, again mainly they are divided into two divisions: the northern Sircar and the Coromandel coast. Northern Sircar means it starts from the Odisha coastal region and it ends in the Andhra Pradesh coastal region. So that means from Odisha to the Krishna river up to that. And the Coromandel coast, that means it is the southern division of the eastern coastal plain. It is located between the Krishna river and the Cape Comorin. So let us see in this picture, you can see that is, take a look here, that is the thing, that is from here, that is Mahanadi river present up to Krishna river. This is the Krishna river here present up to that, that is called as northern Sircar. After Krishna river to, that is Kanyakumari or Cape Comorin, that is called as Coromandel coast. That means northern division of the eastern coastal plain is called as northern Sircar, which is including Odisha, Andhra Pradesh coast, and the Tamil Nadu coast, that is coming under the Coromandel coast. Here also in this map you can see it is, the boundary is already given, the green color line given, it is the boundary between northern Sircar and the Coromandel coast. Now come to the next, the western coastal plains. The western coastal plains again divided into three divisions from Gujarat through Kanyakumari. From Gujarat to Goa it is called as Konkan coast. From that is Goa last, that means mainly it is coming under Karnataka, that is called as Kannada coast, and the Malabar coast it is coming under the Kerala state. So that is, so these are the three divisions present: Gujarat to Goa, one that is called as Konkan, then Karnataka, that is called as Kannada, and then that is Kerala, that is called as the Malabar coast. So let us compare and let us understand them. The eastern coastal plain located along the Bay of Bengal, that we have already seen, and the western coastal plain located along the Arabian Sea. The eastern coastal plain located between Odisha and Kanyakumari. The western coastal plain located between Gujarat and the Kanyakumari. It consists of two sections: the northern Sircar, the Coromandel coast, and here western coastal plain consists of three sections: the Konkan, Kannada, and Malabar. It is wide and level, that you can see from this here. Take a look which one is wide. Here you can see the sandy color portion. So this eastern coastal plain is wide, that's why it is written wide. But here western coastal plain, take a look, it is not wide, so that is narrow. So this is the thing written in this point. And it is drained by the Mahanadi, the Godavari, the Krishna river. So let us see this thing. Mahanadi, take a look, this is the Mahanadi river, this is the Godavari, this is the Krishna river. So these are present in the eastern, along the eastern coastal plain. And in the western coastal plain drained by few rivers like the Narmada, the Tapi, the Sabarmati. So let us find out them. Take a look, the Tapi here, the Narmada here, the Mahi river here, that type of rivers are there. So very less number of rivers, and they are not big rivers. Next, that is these rivers form their deltas in this coastal plain. So that means along the eastern coastal plain we can see the delta formed by the rivers, but along the western coastal plain there is no formation of the deltas. Why are they like that? That why the deltas are formed in the along the eastern coastal plain, where the deltas are not formed along the western coastal plains. This topic will be discussed in drainage chapter. At that time I'll tell that what type of favorable factors available in the along the eastern coastal plain that deltas are formed, and what type of negative factors present that deltas cannot be formed along the western coastal plain. This is the topic of chapter number 3, that means drainage chapter. So this thing we already have seen. Now come to the next. Here you can see again, let us revise. So this is called as the eastern coastal plain. This side, that is called as eastern coastal plain, and it is divided to two divisions: northern Sircar in the northern part from Odisha to Krishna river, and then that is Tamil Nadu coastal region, that is coming under Coromandel coast. And here take a look, you can see that some more divisions present, what I have not told, but all over that we can say it is Konkan coast. It is you can also say like that the Gujarat coast is called as Kutch and Kathiawar coast, and then from Gujarat last portion from there to Goa, that is you can say, or before Goa, that is Konkan, and Goa coast, that is called as Goa coast, and that is a different division, but we are mainly taking the which one, that is Konkan, Kannada and Malabar. Konkan means Gujarat to Goa, and then that is Karnataka, that is coming under Kannada, and the Kerala, that is coming under Malabar coast. Now come to the next physical feature, important physical feature. It is located in the northwestern part of India, that is located in mainly Rajasthan and also some parts of Gujarat, that is called as the Great Indian Desert. It is also called as the Rajasthan Desert because maximum portion of this desert is located in Rajasthan, and also it is called as the Thar Desert. It is the only hot desert in India. Now come to the important features. It is a sandy plain, that means it is a plain area but it is covered by sand. It is covered with sand dunes. Now the question, what is sand dunes? In simple way, sand dunes means it is a mound, M-O-U-N-D, not M-O-U-N-T, it is D. Mound means what? Small hill, that type of small hill of sand. It is made up of sand. It is the depositional activity which is mainly controlled by the wind. Wind deposited the sand, then making a small hill, that is called as what? Sand dune. And this sand dune is moving from one place to another place according to the movement of the wind. According to the direction of the movement of wind, it is moving from one place to another place. So sand dunes are the depositional landform formed by the wind in the desert, in the hot desert, or sometimes also it may found in the coastal plains also. That means in the sea beaches at that time there also we can see, but here that is we have to discuss about the desert. So mainly in hot desert we can see that type of sand dunes, and these are the depositional landform. These are formed by the deposition of the wind of deposition of the sand by wind, and these are moving from one direction, one place to another place according to the direction of movement of wind. And you can see that in this diagram, right hand side diagram, this is one sand dune. It has two sides. One side is called as the windward side. So which side is called as windward side? This side is called as windward side, and this shaded portion is called as leeward side, because through this, from this direction the wind is moving. So this side is called as windward side and this side is called as leeward side. This type of sand dune is called as what? Barkhan, B-A-R-K-H-A-N, Barkhan, or it is also called as Barchans, B-A-R-C-H-A-N-S. This type of crescent shaped, that type of shape is called as what? Crescent, C-R-E-S-C-E-N-T, crescent shaped landform, crescent shaped sand dune, that is called as what? The Barkhan or the Barchan. It has arid climate. So next important feature, arid climate means what? Arid climate means temperature is high in days and temperature is comparatively less at night, and also that is the amount of rainfall is very less, and also that is the temperature in the daytime goes up to 48 degrees Celsius and at night it comes to 10 degrees Celsius. Sometimes it may come near the 0 degrees Celsius in the winter season. Why is it so? Due to the presence of sand particle. Sand is that type of particle which can absorb the temperature rapidly, and also it can release the temperature rapidly. So absorption rate is more, release rate is more. That's why daytime temperature goes up to 48 degree, and due to the high release rate, that temperature comes down to 10 degrees Celsius at night. The amount of rainfall is very less, 25 to 35 centimeter. It is a dry region. It has low vegetation cover due to the lack of rainfall, due to the high temperature. And mainly which type of trees are found? Cactus trees, that means the trees which have already converted their leaves into thorn, that type of trees are found. Streams appear in the rainy season, that means when there will be rainfall, at that time you can observe the flow of the river water. Otherwise you cannot see the flow of the river water, because there is no such amount of water or sufficient amount of water which can overflow. Next, that is Luni is the important river. Luni is the main and the important river of this region. Now come to the next, that is physical features of India, that is called the islands group of India. Their formation already we discussed, like the Andaman Nicobar Islands. These were formed due to, that is what I have already told, that Andaman Nicobar Islands, these are the extension of the Arakan Yuma range, or we can see the Eastern Hills extension. These are the submarine mountains, that means maximum portion already submerged under mountain, some elevated portion present which we can see, and that's why it is called as island. And the Lakshadweep Islands, these were formed due to the that is coral polyps. Coral polyps means it is one type of microorganisms lived in the water, sea water, and from these microorganisms, from their body, one type of, that is CaCO3, calcium carbonate, that is secreted. This CaCO3 deposited and form the Lakshadweep Islands. So again I am telling, Lakshadweep Islands, that is one type of coral island. So coral island means that type of island mainly formed from the coral polyps. Coral polyps, POLYPS, coral polyps. Coral polyps are micro-lived, micro organisms. Their lifespan is very short. I have told microorganism, that means we cannot see easily that by our open eyes, that it is very difficult. That's why that is called as microorganisms. From their body, CaCO3 that is secreted, this CaCO3 deposited and make the island that is called as the coral island, which is called as Lakshadweep Island. So island in India, there are two island group present. One that is called as Bay of Bengal group, that means it is located in the Bay of Bengal, that means Andaman Nicobar Islands, and the Arabian Sea group, that means Lakshadweep Island. Andaman Nicobar Islands, it has two main divisions. One that is the Andaman Northern Division, Nicobar that is the Southern Division, and Andaman and Nicobar, they are separated from each other by 10-degree channel. What I have told, 10-degree channel. And the administrative headquarter of the Andaman and Nicobar Island, that is Port Blair. Why is it called as administrative headquarter? Because Andaman and Nicobar Islands and Lakshadweep both are Union territories. That's why I have told administrative headquarter of Andaman and Nicobar Island, that is Port Blair. Andaman Nicobar Islands have 572 islands. It is the combination of 572 islands. Now come to the Lakshadweep. I have already told it is located in the Arabian Sea, and it is a coral island. Due to the coral polyps, this island was formed, and in the earlier time it was called by three names: the Lakkadive, Amindive, Minicoy. Lakkadive, Laccadive, Lakkadive, Amindive, Minicoy. But later it has got only one name, that is Lakshadweep. So these are the two island groups of India. You can check also here, that is on this map. Here take a look, that is Arabians, here that is Andaman Nicobar Island. This is Andaman, this is Nicobar, and this is located in the Bay of Bengal, and this is Lakshadweep. So what is the administrative headquarter of Lakshadweep? What is the administrative headquarter of the Lakshadweep? That you have to find out. I have already told in chapter number 1. I think you can guess what is the administrative headquarter of Lakshadweep. In chapter number 1 already we discussed. So that's all for today. That means it is the portion up to that, up to this one you have to read for term 1. That means half yearly exam. So that's all for today, student. If you have any doubt, feel free to contact through the proper channel. So thank you, student.